the fairest Una, his onely daughter dear, his only daughter and his only heir, who forth proceeding with sad sober cheer, as bright as doth the morning star appear, out of the east, with flaming locks bedight, to tell that dawning day is drawing near, and to the world does bring long-wished light, so fair and fresh that lady showed herself in sight. So fair and fresh as freshest flower in May, for she had laid her mournful stole aside, and widow-like sad wimple thrown away, wherewith her heavenly beauty she did hide, whiles on her weary journey she did ride, and on her now a garment she did wear, all lily white, withouten spot or pride, that seemed like silk and silver woven near, but neither silk nor silver therein did appear. The blazing brightness of her beauty's beam, and glorious light of her sunshiny face, to tell, whereas to strive against the stream, my ragged rhymes are all too rude and base, her heavenly lineaments for to enhance. Nay wonder, for her own dear loved knight, all were she daily with himself in place, did wonder much at her celestial sight, oft had he seen her fair, but never so fair dight. So fairly dight, when she in presence came, she to her sire made humble reverence, and bowed low, that her right well became, and added grace unto her excellence, who with great wisdom and grave eloquence thus gan to say. But ere he thus had said, with flying speed and seeming great pretence came running in, much like a man dismayed, a messenger with letters, which his message said. All in the open hall amazed stood at suddenness of that unwary sight, and wondered at his breathless hasty mood. But he for naught would stay his passage right, till fast before the king he did alight, where falling flat great humbless he did make, and kissed the ground whereon his foot was pight. Then to his hands that writ he did betake, which he disclosing read thus as the paper spake. To thee, most mighty King of Eden fair, her greeting sends, in these sad lines addressed, the woeful daughter and forsaken heir of that great emperor of all the West, and bids thee be advised for the best, ere thou thy daughter link in holy band of wedlock to that new unknown guest, for he already plighted his right hand unto another love and to another land. To me, sad maid, or rather widow sad, he was affianced long time before, and sacred pledges he both gave, and had, false errant knight, infamous and forswore, witnessed the burning altars which he swore, and guilty heavens of his bold perjury, which thought he hath polluted oft of yore. Yet I to them for judgment just do fly, and them conjure to venge this shameful injury. Therefore, since mine he is, or free or bond, or false or true, or living or else dead, withhold, O sovereign prince, your hasty hand from knitting league with him, I you aread. Nay, ween my right with strength adown to tread, through weakness of my widowhood or woe. For truth is strong, her rightful cause to plead, and shall find friends if need requireth so. So bids thee well to fare, thy neither friend nor foe, Fidessa. When he these bitter biting words had read, the tidings strange did him abashed make, that still he sat long time astonished, as in great muse, ne word to creature spake. At last his solemn silence thus he brake, with doubtful eyes fast fixed on his guest. Redoubted knight, that for my only sake thy life and honour late adventurest, let naught be hid from me that ought to be expressed. What mean these bloody vows and idle threats, thrown out from womanish impatient mind? What heavens, what altars, what enraged heats, here heaped up with terms of love unkind, my conscience clear with guilty bands would bind? High God be witness that I guiltless am, but if yourself, sir knight, ye faulty find, or rapid be in loves of former dame, with crime do not it cover, but disclose the same. To whom the Red Cross Knight this answer sent: My lord, my king, be not hereat dismayed, till well ye wot by grave intendiment what woman and whereof doth me upbraid with breach of love and loyalty betrayed. It was in my mishaps as hitherward I lately travelled, that unawares I strayed out of my way, through peril strange and hard, that day should fail me, ere I had them all declared. There did I find, or rather I was found, of this false woman that Fidessa hight. Fidessa hight the falsest dame on ground, most false Duessa, royal richly dight, that easy was t'inveiggle weaker sight, who by her wicked arts and wily skill, too false and strong for earthly skill or might, unawares me wrought unto her wicked will, and to my foe betrayed, when least I feared ill. Then stepped forth the goodly royal maid, and on the ground herself prostrating low, with sober countenance thus to him said, O pardon me, my sovereign lord, to show the secret treasons, which of late I know to have been wrought by that false sorceress. She onely is, that erst did throw this gentle knight into so great distress, that death him did await in daily wretchedness. And now it seems that she stubborned hath this crafty messenger with letters vain to work new woe and improvided scath, by breaking of the band betwixt us twain, wherein she used hath the practic pain of this false footman, cloaked with simpleness, whom if ye please for to discover plain, ye shall him Archimago find, I guess, the falsest man alive, who tries shall find no less. The king was greatly moved at her speech, and all with sudden indignation fraught, bade on that messenger rude hands to reach. Eftsoons the guard, which on his state did wait, attached that fator false, and bound him straight, who seeming sorely chafed at his band, as chained bear who cruel dogs do bait, with idle force did feign them to withstand, and often semblance made to scape out of their hand. But they him laid full low in dungeon deep, and bound him hand and foot with iron chains, and with continual watch did warily keep. Who then would think that by his subtle trains he could escape foul death or deadly pains? Thus when that prince's wrath was pacified, he gan renew the late forbidden banes, and to the knight his daughter dear he tied, with sacred rites and vows for ever to abide. His own two hands the holy knots did knit, that none but death for ever can divide. His own two hands for such a turn most fit, the houseling fire did kindle and provide, and holy water thereon sprinkled wide. At which the bushy teed a groom did light, and sacred lamp in secret chamber hide, where it should not be quenched day or night, for fear of evil fates, but burnen ever bright. Then gan they sprinkle all the posts with wine, and made great feast to solemnize that day. They all perfumed with frankincense divine, and precious odours fetched from far away, that all the house did sweat with great array, and all the while sweet music did apply her curious skill the warbling notes to play, to drive away the dull melancholy, the walls once sung a song of love and jollity. During the which there was an heavenly noise, heard sound through all the palace pleasantly, like as it had been many an angel's voice, singing before the eternal majesty in their trinal triplicities on high. Yet wist no creature whence that heavenly sweet proceeded, yet each one felt secretly himself thereby reft of his senses meet, and ravished with rare impressions in his sprite. Great joy was made that day of young and old, and solemn feast proclaimed throughout the land. That their exceeding mirth may not be told, suffice it here by signs to understand the usual joys at knitting of love's band. Thrice happy man the knight himself did hold, possessed of his lady's heart and hand, and ever when his eye did her behold, his heart did seem to melt in pleasures manifold. Her joyous presence and sweet company in full content he there did long enjoy, ne wicked envy, ne vile jealousy, his dear delights were able to annoy, yet swimming in that sea of blissful joy, he not forgot how he whilom had swore, in case he could that monstrous beast destroy, unto his Faerie Queene back return, the which he shortly did, and Una left to mourn. Now strike your sails, ye jolly mariners, for we be come unto a quiet road, where we must land some of our passengers, and light this weary vessel of her load. Here she a while may make her safe abode, till she repaired have her tackle spent, and wants supplied, and then again abroad on the long voyage whereto she is bent, well may she speed, and fairly finish her intent.